What does it really look like to have a baby when you're running a business? There's this glossy narrative of you can do both, but what does that actually look like? I want to set the biz up for success, but I also need to move on the baby as my body clock is ticking, and my husband is 6 years older than I am, so doesn't want to be too old to run around with the kids as he's already 41. I'm turning 36 in Feb 2026 for context. How do you go about this? Any advice, systems? Because your business doesn't pause when you're sleep deprived. Your team still looks to you for leadership and your clients still expect delivery. How do you navigate the tug of war between wanting to be fully present as a parent while also keeping the business afloat and the first 12 months without burning out or resenting one side of the equation? Please help.
Sure. So I am kind of almost this person. So my partner is 5 years older than me. And in the lead up to my 38th birthday, I gave him 6 months to decide. On my 38th birthday, I was like, okay, honey, are we doing this thing? Because if not, I'm going to go to plan B. So 2 weeks before I turned 39, so you do the maths on that, it was a pretty quick turnaround, I had a 12-hour drug-free water birth. And I'm not saying that to be like, oh, look at me, but we do hear a lot of horror stories, and sometimes we don't hear the like, wow, that was kind of like the most uneventful conception, pregnancy, and birth.
Our third child was a water birth, and my wife talks about it as like the best one for sure. Yeah.
So I left it late. I, got there. And when my kid was 6 weeks old, she's now 8.5, I took on a little side project. So I was a school counsellor at the time. I was on mat leave. I was getting paid by the department. But I was doing digital nutrition and all my passion stuff on the side. So I took at 6 weeks a little project with as a brand ambassador for something. So I was never trying to do anything full-time, and parenting is full-time. Your business is full-time. And again, that maths does not work. You've still only got 24 hours in the day and your sleep is going to be cut to shreds. I think this is about planning your runway and thinking about what does a lean business look like? What are your financial needs? The idea of growing a business while having a baby, I think, is really, really tricky. But it's about maybe keeping the wheels moving, using a really great but lean team to keep that plodding along, and getting really clear on your work and your niche so that you're not having scarcity mentality about I've got to get any work, but actually getting the work that speaks most to you. Because I think what happens when you become a parent, for men and women, our values really change and absolutely re-clarify. So the thing I would say too is it depends on your baby, and until you meet your baby, you might not really know what you can and can't do. My baby was fantastic until she learned to roll over, and then it was game over because that kid was like, I can roll over and play. I'm not sleeping anymore. So, even what you might think you get shifts and changes. And I'm still like, this is what they don't tell you in the books is like, once you've mastered one level of parenting, it changes and then you have to start again. And that happens for 18 years plus, right? So I think some of this is sitting in the uncertainty of you won't really know till you're there. And you have to be incredibly flexible. I believe that most people who are successful in managing this stuff are the ones who are very flexible. Again, from my perspective, my GP said, you're going to get postnatal depression. And I said, like the fuck I am. And I very much resourced so that I was prepared for knowing who I am. Had a ADHD diagnosis when I was 32, and I'm used to running my own show. And then suddenly this little person, especially once the rolling over, not sleeping thing happened, like, whoa, okay, I had to keep up leveling. So I did things like made sure I had a gym with a crèche, and I handed her over to a very nice Greek lady at Fitness Playground in Marrickville 3 days a week. I have never been so fit. But really thinking about that combination and playing Tetris and imagining and pre-reflecting or projecting what you really imagine it to be without the gloss is super helpful. Sorry, that was super long answer.
No, that was excellent. I think
but,
I'm sure that will have helped a lot. I also think
But
like
talk
with,
to me, have a book a session. I can help you plan. Like this is my jam.
yeah, absolutely. Definitely get in touch with Jocelyn. I was also thinking as well of like, I know for like people who are running businesses, there needs to be a bit of a transition plan, right? Succession plan. Like, I also think this is potentially the opportunity to go, hey, maybe you don't need to run your business in the way that you have been, and that maybe there's leadership in your business or that you need to hire that can be ready to step up, which could be really freeing. So that then when you do return, or, you know, if you're just kind of dipping in and out, it's a chance to watch other people thrive, which is pretty rewarding as well.